Eric Muathe, Muathe.com. Let's take a look at MGT, and this is the day after the previous video where we're discussing the timing of explosive stocks. So today we see that the stock did finally start the day by moving above the previous hourly closing high, and this is a 1 month hourly chart. So here the price that one would have used for a breakout, and remember this is a very extended play, so you're really much taking a lot of risk, but 4.94 was this hourly closing high, so a breakout above that would have been a buy signal. But take a look at what has happened since. We had 1 hour above that and then we cracked below that, so this is now a failed breakout. And once the breakout failed and the stock was trading below 4.94, the risk was now that the stock would have some type of a huge correction, and we've seen that it's moved from the highs of the day, high of the day at 5.58, low of the day 2.65. so this is now becoming a very risky trade. And keep in mind, here we saw that the breakout failed, and that was the first sign that the stock could run into trouble. If you take a look at the previous breakouts during this amazing run, all of them have been successful. Breakout after more than 2 hours of rest, and the stock has not looked back. So previously we were seeing successful breakouts. As of right now, we are seeing what looks like a failed breakout, which is why we are seeing the stock plunge after a nice move at the open. Now, if you are a true momentum chaser and you want to use the hourly, this closing high on an hourly basis is now the new buy point. So the level to watch here is hour to hour, should the stock move above 5.20. Keep in mind, we've had 1 hour number 1 of rest, so number 1, and then hour number 2. So any breakout above 5.20 would come after 2 hours of rest, which is what we need. Now you can also go and take a look at the daily, and this is a 1-year daily, but let's go to a 6 months daily here so we can see a narrower view. And now if you want to time this from a day-to-day perspective, if we get a down day, then you can set your alert should the stock move above the current daily closing high over the last couple of months, maybe not going back a couple of years, but 4.15 was the close of yesterday. So what you'd want to see is, this is day number 1. You'd want to see another day below 4.15, which would be day number 2 of a rest. And should the stock break out above 4.15, let's say if we have 2 days of rest, then from a timing perspective, that is when you'd want to go back into the name. Right now we haven't closed, so we might still close positive for the day, who knows. But should we have a down day, then the close of yesterday at the high on a daily closing basis, which is this price, would be the new buy point. Then you'd have to insist that you have 1 more day after today where the stock settles down below 4.15, which would give you 2 days of rest, which are needed. 2 days of rest which are needed for a breakout on the daily chart. Then any breakout after that would be a good buy. So again, not to confuse you or anything of that kind, let's take a look at a 3 month. Let's take a look at a narrower range just to be sure. If we get a down day here, then whatever daily closing high becomes the new buy point. But for this to be a classic breakout, you'd want to have at least 2 rest periods or 2 days of rest. Then any breakout after 2 days of rest would be a legit breakout, whatever the daily closing high is going to be. So at some point the stock is going to have a down day, and so take the daily closing high for the previous day, which was the daily closing high, and use that as an entry. Right now we are assuming 4.15 is going to be the close or the closing high right now, and so 4.15 would be what you need to watch for a future breakout. But again, for this to be a good breakout, you need at least 2 days of rest after yesterday's close. In other words, so yesterday was a Monday, today is a Tuesday, Wednesday needs to be a down day, and then the earliest one can buy this, assuming that this is the closing high, is gonna be on Thursday. Eric Muathe, Muathe.com. In fact, wait a minute. So Monday, Actually, this was Tuesday, so Tuesday is the closing high. Today, day number 1, Thursday, day number 2, and then Friday, maybe at the very least. If we have a down day today, it's going to be the earliest one can consider it a daily breakout after 2 days of rest. So from a timing perspective, you can use this, or you can use the hourly closing high of 5.20, and that's how you time these momentum names. Eric Muadith, muadith.com. As always, good luck, peace, and blessings. EACS.